Good afternoon, and welcome to the first edition of um, two Toxis talking Bitcoin today with our guest being Publord.hodl, coming live from his secret pub location. So, welcome, Publord. What are you drinking today?
Hey, thanks, Anders. Actually, just a simple IPA right now. It's an Indian Pale Ale. Nothing too dark. Some days I like a good Guinness, but today just a IPA.
Right. I love Guinness. Lots of good iron in that. Very healthy. I know that in Ireland, as far as I know, they made it illegal to say in the advertising that Guinness actually contains a lot of iron, which is good for you, because there also was alcohol in it. IPAs, I'm not too fond of that. There's too much bitter taste and hops or whatever it is. Um,
Yeah,
so
about as bitter as the dreams of Ethereum after Michael Saylor came in.
that's right.
All salty tears this week. A lot of people don't know about Guinness is that it's actually low in calories compared to other beers. They
Oh,
think
is
it's a
it?
heavy one. It is absolutely. Yeah,
Because
compared to others, yeah.
it's so heavy. Like you feel like it's very thick, creamy, but um, that's interesting. I didn't know that there's less calories in it.
It is very true.
All
So
right,
how you been, man?
I've been good, and yeah, let me just say that the reason why we're doing this, I got the idea after me and Pablo have been talking Bitcoin on the phone for hours every week for I don't know what is it now, 2 years or something,
Way, I heard you on Adam Meister's show, and
right?
just remembered every time you answered a question, I just man, this guy is like he's my brother, man. Everything he says is exactly what I'm thinking and feeling. So I just reached out to you with I think a text or message on Twitter saying, "Hey, man, loved your show. Are you up? Would you up for a talk or something?" And yeah, the rest is history.
Right. Yeah, totally. I remember that. And I guess as a lot of Bitcoiners, we just clicked instantly, have a lot of the same opinions on Bitcoin. And I can see a chat message. I'm not sure if you can see that, Pablo, but we've got BTC Moon
No.
Guy in the house. Can you see the chat
Mm.
messages, or is it just me?
I think just you. I got something that says private chat here, but hell, we're just figuring this technology out right now for
Totally.
our
So,
first
guys,
time.
we spend about a good 15 minutes to be able to get audio on Guy's mobile, but we finally nailed it, and we have like 10, 15 minutes
Yep.
to talk a bit of Bitcoin. And to
Yeah, man.
start it off, the message from BTC Moon Guy is a bit of a compliment to you. Hey guys, Publord, nice memes. I couldn't agree more. So recently you downloaded a meme generator, Pablo. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Yeah. What I love about this space is just the the varied background of everyone here. And, from the techies to the artists. I was always blown away by it, and different ways of expressing themselves. Um, and one of mine has always been, I didn't realize it, but I always loved a good meme. And I noticed whenever I would try to find a good meme for Bitcoin, uh, there were just limited options. And I knew there were some creative people in the space, and I said, you know what? Like you say, what the hell? Let me just do something on my own, something a creative outlet to, um, talk about what current events are going on in Bitcoin. And so yeah, I just downloaded this meme generator as something to mess around with, and yeah, it's taken off of it. I like to. I just have fun with it. That's all, just
Yeah,
for
but
fun.
you're doing a really good job, I must say. And I mean, so quickly, you only started producing these memes, what, um, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was just in August, honestly. But yeah, as I said, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Twitter have so much material in them. There's so much material to go on. What's the latest? uh, what's the latest argument? Sometimes petty, sometimes not. What's the latest big news? Every week there's just something new that you can comment on. I just enjoy a good meme because I think it's fantastic when you can express either complex ideas or thought with a simple photo and just a few words. I think that's I think it's just a good sign of intelligence for the people that get it or can express it. Yeah, memes I just think are just a brilliant way um, to express ideas. And to be
Absolutely.
quite honest, yeah, Bitcoiners, Bitcoiners will win the meme game every day, man. Fiat doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I know totally. One of the things I really love about Bitcoin Twitter is it's probably the best memes around. Like we are
Yeah,
strong with memes on Bitcoin Twitter. I absolutely love them.
yeah,
And as you're saying, you can express so much. It really is true that with a few with a picture, you can say more than 1,000 words. You can just
sure.
express so much. So probably my favorite, as I recall it, of your memes is the one of a chessboard and the Fed and Bitcoin. If you can just explain that to us,
Yeah.
because I love that one.
Oh right. Oh right. So you know, the Fed backed itself into a corner, much like many governments. No options left. Um, and shout out to Preston Fish. I love all his stuff, and he talks about it. He's talking about your choices UBI or QE, or if they do, it's a never ending circle. No, but with that one, I believe it was basically the Federal Reserve had the Black Knight, and the only move they have left is to print money. So the Black
Right.
Knight, the only move it had was to take the white pawn to print money, and all you have at the bottom of the chessboard is the white rook, just ready to just steamroll
Right.
steamroll the Fed. Yeah,
Exactly. It's really cool. Like looking at that image, you can see the Fed
yeah,
is gonna choose to print more money and thinks it's all good, but what it doesn't know is that Bitcoin is coming to wipe it out when they
yeah,
start to print more money. Because as we know, Bitcoin is 100% hard money, capped at 21 million units. While fiat currency is just killing itself faster than any time before right now,
yeah,
especially in COVID, where insane amount of trillions of dollars are being printed around the world. So central banks are having a race to the bottom on the value of their currency, so they can
yeah,
print, so they can export better, they can stimulate. Yeah, so what else is
yeah,
going on in Bitcoin? You are on top of it more than most people. As soon as you get to the pop, which I
yeah,
understand you're doing fairly early because you start work really early, so you also end earlier, and then
yeah,
you do a couple of things when you hit the pop. You have beers first of all, and then you stack sats. I know you're a big DCA proponent. You're stacking sats
yeah,
every
man.
day. The more beers you
Yeah,
have, the more sats you're stacking because it just makes more and more
true.
sense. So what else is
No,
going on? You're on top of things. You've been on Twitter for the last couple of hours. What's going on in the land of Bitcoin right now, in your opinion?
so yeah, one thing real quick, just to reach back. The Fed really doesn't have a choice anymore. They're backed into a corner on this. They have to do it to keep rates down. Um, but yeah, moving forward, yeah. So yeah, I get to work early. I like to go to the gym, then come out to the pub, have a couple pints, and enjoy Bitcoin Twitter and just yeah, stack sats. Um, I love that Friar Haas was a big inspiration to me as I came into the space. He started in 2013, basically the 2017 equivalent of coming in at the high, but he kept a strong hand, and it's absolutely brilliant. Stick with it. Dollar cost average down, and by the time I came out of this bear market, I was down at buying $3,400 Bitcoin at a time, and now you're up 70% without even realizing it, just staying with it. So I think it helps flatten the volatility. I love the fact that the more and more people that do that, anytime there's any manipulation or whales dumping on the market, guess what? Boom, there's someone there buying every day. So
That's right.
yeah, so things like Swan Bitcoin and I believe Bitaroo in Australia, those places are great. I think CoinFloor does that as well. The more you can get people just a dollar cost average in, it's only better for Bitcoin for sure, and better for their bottom line.
Absolutely. And I mean, dollar cost averaging in means you don't have to worry about if you spend all your money buying it too expensive in case it goes down. Because if it goes down, since your dollar cost average in, you're just getting some of that Bitcoin on when it goes on sale, as it does happen. So it's also, I love your story, as you told me, although, I mean, it was a painful beginning. You came across Bitcoin late 2017,
Yeah,
going in at $17,000. And for a person that went all
yeah,
in, they would now be significantly underwater. But you kept dollar cost averaging. You're doing daily DCA instead of monthly DCA or weekly DCA,
yeah.
which has proven to be the better way. Just buy a little bit every day, convert a little bit of the salary, whatever, and you're now up, even though you started at 17,000. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because at the bottom, when people were getting weak hands and running out, I was thinking, Jesus, this this stuff is on sale. This is a fire sale for me.
Yeah,
So I would double and triple buys, quadruple buys because I had nothing to lose at that point. I was buying it at 70% off, and of course it's come back. Uh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And hey, listen, Guy, I know you have a back end. So you just say when
Yeah,
when we got to end. We're gonna continue this. We're gonna do this many more times because we were
yeah, for sure.
already spending hours every week speaking on the phone,
Yeah, man.
um, and um, and now we'll just we're doing it here. And if anyone wants to hear two Toxis talking Bitcoin, they can join us. If
Yeah,
not, we'll just have our conversation. But I just want to let everyone know, if you're watching this on YouTube, down in the show notes you'll find Publord's Twitter handle, so you can follow some of his great meme production that's really taking off. And we've got BTC Moon Guy. Wait, you know
yeah,
what? I think I can throw that up on the screen. I
yeah,
just did that. So now you can see it as well. BTC Moon Guy is saying, great story, Guy. DCA for the win. Totally agree. You learned
yeah,
the hard way that DCA is the way to go by starting at a near the all-time high. And as you mentioned, Fryer Haas, who's a really great guy. I love
yeah,
him. He got a lot of integrity,
yeah,
and he came in 2013 and just dollar cost
yeah,
average through that baby, and that
yeah,
brought his cost per Bitcoin down. Dollar cost average.
yeah. It's the way to go. It's interesting because, of course, the story of MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor just going around. What I found fascinating is one of the things they had done was, yeah, how in the hell do you buy $425 million worth of Bitcoin? And what was great was he was buying in at $1,000, 10,000, all these different levels over a period of 8 days, just continually. Was it point? I think it was like 0.13 Bitcoin every 3 minutes. But what I loved, the best part of the story was he had 30 to $50 million or something on the side in case Bitcoin would drop 1 or 2%.
Right.
Because lesson there is always keep a little powder on the side, man, and he did. What a great story, man, to enter into this space.
Totally. And he really created a floor under the Bitcoin price, even though nobody knew he was there. They were buying it
Yeah,
incognito. As you said,
yeah,
what was every 3 seconds they were buying up part of a Bitcoin, couple of millions of satoshis.
yeah, yeah. In June, July, I noticed. We were at, I think, what, 9,400. It dropped to 92. It'd be up to 96. And I remember writing it because and you and I talked about this once. I can't believe it's not more volatile. I've never seen it this smooth. And now we know why, man. Everyone was dumping, and guess who was buying? Now we know.
Yeah, it's only I've only one time before seen the Bitcoin price hover like exactly at the same level for 2 months. We
Yeah,
just saw it now, as you mentioned. Last time was in October, November 2018, as we were getting close to the end of the bear market, and there the price came from up, and
yeah,
as we were going through those 2 months and that fall was taking out, then we continued down to the capitulation of around $3,100 per
right.
Bitcoin. But this time around, we came from down, and what happened afterwards was Bitcoin shot up about $2,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's one of those things where on the bad side, obviously, I came in at the top. Most people say, "Oh my God, how do you do it?" And then I also say, "Well, look, on the other side of things, this is nothing to me. I'm still buying things almost half off from when
Right,
I started." So when it was down at 3,000 and people were scared or running away, you know, when you start at the top, the other side of it is, hey, you learn how to have a strong hand, and you're buying things on sale.
right. I mean, what you went through was really the birth of a Bitcoiner. So people are especially drawn into Bitcoin when the price just goes ballistic end of the bull market.
Yep, that was me.
It gets
Oh yeah,
it get
FOMO.
yeah it gets a lot of coverage on media because they have
Yeah,
this asset price graph they can show that is going through the roof. Everybody loves an asset that goes up in price, and they buy. You came in at that time as well, and
yeah,
what we then see afterwards is that most people get weak hands. They came in without knowing what Bitcoin was. They bought it because the price was going up. As the price is going down and they still don't know what they actually bought, they get scared. So they're greedy on the way
yeah,
up. They have fear on the way down. You
yeah,
luckily chose to educate yourself and find out what Bitcoin is. And once you know what
yeah,
Bitcoin is, you don't care if it's going down in price, because the way you saw it was, hey, it's on sale now. Here's an opportunity to get more bang for the buck.
yeah,
And you're really, I mean, you were, created as a Bitcoiner in that period, learning about Bitcoin and not caring about the price going down, seeing it as a positive, and you're in it for the long hodl.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, honestly, when I first came in, I think Coinbase had let's see, you had Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum. The big four. That was it. All they
Right,
had listed. And I think, a friend of mine had talked about how she was angry at her boyfriend because they had friends that had told them about Bitcoin, I believe in like 2011. I mean, very early days. And she had tried to convince him to buy and he wouldn't. So they had missed the
right,
boat, which made me, it just opened my eyes like, hey, so yeah, what the hell is this stuff? What is
right,
this magic internet money? And so I just went, I think I took like 25% into each area
right,
because I have no idea what I'm doing. But honestly, by that, I think it was, so yeah, starting in December, by that March or February, March timeframe, within 2 months, I realized, look, it's Bitcoin or it's nothing. Because I realized that, there's only one will survive. One has the best track record. I'm sticking with Bitcoin until something else can prove that it's got a value proposition better than Bitcoin, which nothing to date obviously can do.
right. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I like what you mentioned there about there's only going to be one winner, and a British economist several centuries ago, called Gresham, wrote this
yeah,
Gresham's law, which was, whenever you have more money, you will spend the weaker one first, because you want to keep whatever you have more faith in
yeah,
for the future. So what happens is, as he's saying, I think a lot of people misunderstand what it means that bad money pushes out good money. It basically means, so as a medium of exchange, bad money will be used to get rid
yeah,
of, and once you're rid of it, you're sitting left with the gold. So it used to be gold, now it's Bitcoin.
yeah,
Bitcoin is digital gold. It's gold 2.0.
Yeah.
So, yeah, uh, by the way, so how epic do you feel that MicroStrategy's move as a publicly listed company is what they did, converting all their cash on their balance sheet to Bitcoin? How epic is that move?
Well, I mean, aside from Pizza Day, this is probably the most seminal moment in Bitcoin history. You had on Pizza Day, you got Laszlo that illustrates that um, you can trade this, you can buy something with this. What you found here, I think, with MicroStrategy is someone ran the numbers. Another great meme. Someone ran the numbers and realized, and I love this analogy. I'm sitting on a melting ice cube right now. I'm sitting on this big pile of cash that every year, you know, the CPI be damned. It's a bunch of crap. Just cherry picked indexes here. He goes, I'm literally losing 10% a year, and they're going to offer me like a 2% bond or negative. He gets it. He gets it, and he
Right.
realized Bitcoin. You look at the 10-year history. Yeah, he understands it, and I'll tell you another great thing with him is the speed at which he picked up Bitcoin, as far as understanding it, because it's really the pandemic that opened his eyes, and how nimble his company was to move from his understanding. He's doing Zoom calls with his board to then quickly convince them, and like you said, half of them already own Bitcoin in their own personal life, so maybe not as hard to sell, but man, what can you say? This is $425 million from a publicly listed company that rolled in, and now look, man, the gauntlet's thrown down. It is up to every other CEO of even the same size companies, small or bigger. Shout out to a restaurant like Tahini's in Toronto, a small business that also went in, and I think Snappa, it was the other one. Um, but they're starting to get it. The writing's on the wall. The cash they have on hand is worth not only zero, but less than zero, 10% less than zero.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's I mean, I don't know about you, but I had never heard about MicroStrategy before. A publicly traded company on
yeah,
the stock exchange on Nasdaq with an evaluation currently on about 1.4 billion US dollars,
yep,
converts $420 million that they have in cash, realizing during COVID, where so much currency is being printed, that hey, we can't hold it in dollars.
no
That
way.
would be bad due diligence to hold this diluting asset and then convert
Yep,
everything. So what I like is it's not even like it's not a speculation that they want to, they're not turning into an investment company saying we want to make, hundreds of percent on this investment. They
yeah,
simply, to be prudent and safeguard the value on the balance sheet, simply say, look,
yeah,
we're converting this to Bitcoin to not lose value. And I think we just lost Publord on the stream. Let's see if he's coming back in. Let me see if I have anything from him on Signal. No message. So if he hits that URL again, he'll come back in to our two Toxis talking Bitcoin today with the Publord. So this is the launch of this program type, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun because we're just here to talk Bitcoin, something that most Bitcoiners absolutely love doing because we're used to, you know, the family, they don't want to hear about it. A lot of the people we know, colleagues, friends, most of them don't want to hear about it. There's just a few that are like, okay, tell me more. And once people know a little bit about um, Bitcoin, they usually end up getting it. And then it's like everyone else in Bitcoin, you go down that rabbit hole and just um, get so excited, and you just want to, you're thinking Bitcoin all the time, you're talking Bitcoin all the time. Let me try and send a message to Publord and see if we can get him back. Let's see what he's saying. He hasn't got the message yet. Maybe he lost Wi-Fi connection at the pub. It's not unthinkable. Or hey, maybe even better, he's just going to get a refill. You got to keep those ice cold drafts coming. Oh well, you know what? We were just meant to have a 10-minute conversation. Usually we talk for hours, but we didn't have that much time today. So I think we're going to call it a stream. And yeah, keep being toxic. What we mean by toxic, all right, I have an incoming call from. Let me take this and see what he's saying. So excuse me for a second, but we'd love to have the Publord back in. Here we go. Publord, what's going on? You lost the connection? Yeah.
Like half an hour late, but that was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We're still live, so I'll cut the live stream now. Publord is saying bye. You guys will see him again. We just love talking Bitcoin. And everyone out there, have a great time, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.